Hello everyone and welcome to today's Crypto and Stocks TA live stream. Today is Monday, November 15th, 2021. It's about 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the USA. The reason I'm live streaming today is we're having a bear break in the crypto market as we speak. And so I wanted to just go over that with people and clarify yesterday's stream. By the way, if on my streams, if there's ever an internet connection problem, an audio problem, or a video problem, please let me know right away in the live chat, as we had some of those issues yesterday in the previous stream. Okay, so the big thing to note right now is you're probably wondering, why is Bitcoin crashing down? Why are we red today in the entire market? Why did the upside down head and shoulders not work? Well, that is trading and technical analysis and fundamentals at play. So, for example, before we even go dig into the charts, what happened in the real world? Well, in the past week, we had the Robinhood hack. We had Coinbase earnings, which were not that great. We had Tesla sell-off, Elon Musk Twitter. And then today, this morning, at around 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, President Biden of the United States signed the infrastructure bill into law, which contained a cryptocurrency tax clause or section. And so in the crypto industry, we've known this for a while now, but he actually signed it into official law this morning. So if you don't believe that as the reason, what is the time of the exact bear breakdown? It started in the European session from 1 o'clock. So from 4 a.m. to about 8 a.m. And then right when the stock market opened, right about 6 o'clock to 6:30, boom, you get this bear break continuation down. And then the Asia market session opened right here. Let me mark these on the charts like this. Right, you can see it's all correlated here. So European session pricing in the tax provision law being infrastructure bill being signed. That's bearish for crypto. Why? Because it requires a very loose, broad term of crypto exchange brokers to report basically the customer tax information. And if there's ever a transaction above 10,000 US dollars, the exchanges must report it. So that's pretty bearish for the crypto industry, because that's government regulation and corporations that have more of a tighter control over cryptocurrency and less. So users, consumers, they have less privacy now. That's bad for crypto, right? So that caused a bearish sell-off. Also, Tesla sold off this morning a little bit, a couple percent. So that's all combined. All those 5, 6, 7 reasons I just said is why we're crashing in the market. Also, we started to lose the support. So a quick review. Actually, let me give just quick support levels before we understand why this happened. So just bring back my, there we go. Let's go ahead and I'm just going to take this purple off. So where are our supports right now? Our support levels on price. Our support levels on price, we just lost 62,000 in the short term, right? We hit 61,000, 60,000 psychological below. Can also use pivots for a quick check, right? There's also 58,000, there's a 57,000. But if you actually look at the price on the left side, all of this support range right here, we just lost 62. Our big line in the sand is 60,000. If we lose 60,000 in the next couple of weeks, we're pretty much in trouble for crypto in the short term. But what's happening is we're having a very short-term intraday crash on the Asian market open session. Shorts, futures, having a field day here. But we just hit this oversold and we're bouncing off of $61,000 Bitcoin. And so it really is turning into September 7th all over again. If you watch my stream like last week, you'll know if you just look on your own chart, just verify yours for yourself. Rewind the chart to September 7th. We had this basically this exact same pattern. It came down. The price came down. We tried to bounce, got rejected, tried to bounce up again, got rejected again. So that's why I had this alert here at 65,000 because that needed to hold yesterday. Okay, so if we end up, if this turns out to be a temporary bottom for today at 61,000, okay, we might see a bounce attempt up to like 62, 63,000, 1 to 2% up because we are getting significantly oversold on some of these shorter term time frames. Although the 4-hour and the daily is not completely oversold yet. So it looks like our intraday, we broke bear off of all that fundamental negative catalyst news I just explained earlier. Now, if you're wondering, okay, why did I just say yesterday we had upside down head and shoulders? Well, it actually completed the pattern. We hit our first target. So I'm leaving this line here. I drew this exactly yesterday, the exact line and the exact target we would hit. We hit that target right on the dot, right on the money. Right here, what I'm talking about, like this. Neckline, target was right here at that gray line. We hit that target. Like I said, like a couple percent target. Yeah, there's about like 2 to 2.5% target from yesterday's stream. And we hit that first target. But then what happened? Starts to get bear break because information starts going around that, hey, wait a second. Fundamental news overrides the technical setup, especially if it's bearish. So what happened? We started fading down. It would have been great if we hit another higher high like that to hit our second target, 68. But we broke bear. So that's why it's very important to always have your support and resistance levels, because if you just draw it like that overnight or wherever you're looking at, or you have one alert like I did, I said we had to hold $65,000 Bitcoin this week, this day, or else we're in trouble. And so the bearish scenario played out right into our psychological support zones. Okay, this is also measurable. At least 1.7%. We went way, way below that. We went 3 times the target. 2 to 3 times the target. So we've got some serious downtrending action. And this is because, again, infrastructure, crypto law getting signed into, passed into legislation, signed by the president, USA, and Tesla sell-off. And so basically, in layman's terms, it means there's too many negative bearish events happening all at the same time in the same 1 or 2 weeks. Okay? So that's why yesterday you heard me say you want to have a stop loss if you're going to take some of those trades, and you want to use a small amount of capital. I kept saying that like over and over again on the stream yesterday. Right? So just want to reiterate that to people, that TA is never 100% correct. Otherwise, everyone would be, retired by now. We use probabilities. And sometimes there's a surprise catalyst. Although the infrastructure bill was not a surprise, but, sometimes like the reaction is more of a surprise. Right? But we did have some of this loss of momentum up here. You can see it on the charts. That's why I was in the back of my mind, you always heard me prepare for downside, right? Just in case we don't break bull. So one of the oil CEOs yesterday had a good quote. He's talking about oil as a commodity, and that relates to Bitcoin as a commodity as well. And he was saying, which is true, it's economics, that if the asset stays at a high price for too long, basically demand is not going to buy that. Consumers are not going to buy that. If oil prices are too high, if gas prices are too high, if Bitcoin prices are too high, there might not be enough demand for it, right? If the price is too high, nobody wants to buy it. So the example I always like to say is if if you've ever tried to sell anything online on eBay or Craigslist in your country, if you have it, you know that if the price is too high, you won't get bids. You're not going to get buyers. So then the price must come down for there to be a supply demand equilibrium between sellers and buyers so that business can transact, right? It's like an auction. The stock market, the crypto market is an auction. If you open up the order book, which in this case I can only show the bid ask labels, right? The buyers and the sellers and the blue and red labels, right? People are offering, or the offer right now is $61,928 Bitcoin. And then the ask price for selling is $61,962, right? So you have on the order book a bunch of buyers and sellers. It's an auction. So rewind the charts. If $69,000 Bitcoin is too expensive, nobody wants to buy that, right? People are saying, no, 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 Bitcoin too expensive today. Today it's too expensive. Right now, in this moment in time, too expensive. No, thank you. Right? So then the sellers say, fine, we're going to sell this thing down. Then when it gets to 60, when it crashes down, can you see this? This is the psychology of markets, right? Crashes down so low relatively on that day is, ooh, that's discount Bitcoin. It was just 69,000 one day ago, and we crashed down to 63. Nice discount. Yeah, buy some. Buyers are going to buy that. That was like a 9% discount, right? Then pumps up, sell off again. So again, watch out for this pattern. We had a double top here, which was kind of that yellow red flag for me is okay. That's not good. So in the longer term, what it is doing is we're seeking out this lower low now. So wherever the lower low is going to bottom out at would be your better spot of value. Okay, so we try to play this breakout attempt right here, which again, it was the 2%, 2.5%, and it hit that exact perfect target. That's why a lot of bots, people had conservative traders had their limit sell orders there and they're out of that market. Then we had the bear break loss of $65,000 support. And when you get such a negative reaction from government legislation and regulations, and you have a lot of bearish catalysts, the price is just too high. Shorts, futures, even options, right? It's all going to come into effect. This is a lot of stop losses being triggered right here. People had their stops all up in here. So market makers, institutions, the big money players, they know all they have to do is sell this thing off and they have profitable opportunity right here. Too many people were long yesterday because after the stream, I was doing charts and I was checking on Twitter, but I started seeing the hashtag to the moon trend on Twitter, and I'm like, uh-oh, we might be in for this could be a problem. Why? Because whenever I see that kind of stuff on the internet, it's usually a yellow flag to me, yellow card, because that's just people getting hyped in their minds. You know what I mean? Because we had our two targets set, right? And then we had the plan yesterday. We have a stop loss, and if we lose the $65,000, we're in trouble. We might see this lower low, right? So literally, if you know September 7th setup, this exact same thing that's happening. Literally the same thing, almost psychologically. All right. So we need to just figure out, all right, our downside support. Just plot out your support and resistance. I got to go intraday for this. All right. So where's our support zone on the downside? Right here, 60,000 to 61. Okay. That's your big line in the sand right now. The big top resistance is 69,000, the all-time high, right? So now you're just staying between these two levels. There's a midpoint in there about 65,000. Okay, 64, 65,000. All right, and the larger term structure, we might retest this 63,000 within the next day or two. There's some serious volume sell-off. Okay. So the shorts, the bears have been waiting for this opportunity for like a week. They've been waiting. Right. So that's, you always got to watch out for that in the market. That's why, yeah, again, in yesterday's stream, you keep hearing me say the fundamentals overrides the technical chart sometimes. Make sure we don't use a large position size during this trade, have a tight stop loss, have alerts, be prepared for downside in the back of your mind, right? A lot of fundamentals. There's Tesla volatility right now in the tech sector. All those things come to play. And sometimes, like for me, because I'm already invested in crypto, I don't need to really trade as much as I used to, day trade anymore. Is that long term, this is fine, right? We're still in a long term setup. But again, you just want to watch out for potential. We could, if we lose 60,000, 55,000, we're going down to 53,000, because this is sort of looking like this September 7th. This is what I'm saying right here. Right. If you look at this particular leg up and this particular leg up, the move is about the same, or a little bit less. It's like 60 to 70% before it topped out, right? From like a bottom to top, right? About 70-ish percent. And then you started downtrending. Although September 7th was a really bad negative 20% in one day. That was terrible. But you can kind of see it sort of setting up potentially, right? Because we have a lower low, lower high, lower low. So if we cannot break above our 65 and hold above that, then this can turn into a double top psychological type of pattern. And then we could really pull back down to 53. That's why keep your sights. You got to stay strong in the market. You know, if somebody lost money or got stopped out, it's trading. You know what I mean? You got to manage the risk, got to manage the account. But also, you have to have some like mental and emotional resilience in crypto and stocks. Is that okay? If we start zooming out, where might we go next? If we keep dropping down, then 59,000, 60,000, right on these Fibonacci support levels. Right, 56, 54. If it ever goes to 50 and 45,000, I'm very interested in that. That's serious discount. You guys realize that, right? This is what I'm saying. It's like eBay. You want to buy something at eBay, and then all of a sudden for like one day, it's 25% off. You bet traders are going to buy that thing. Bulls are going to buy that just for that quick flip, for that quick trade in the market. So again, we just have to keep our wits about us. Just relax and do TA. This is totally normal in the crypto market. Just because I see red, not afraid at all. What you got to do is get ready for where are your support levels of value on all these coins that you might be looking at. All right, so let me go ahead and we'll just do some like rapid fire support and resistance. There's too many lines here. But again, you can see it. This pattern is not very pleasant to look at in the eyes, right? Just visually, the price pattern here. Let me turn the Fibonacci off. This is why the past couple of weeks or two, in my mind, I've been thinking this is like not a very powerful looking pattern. Okay. Because what is it essentially? We basically got stuck at 68,000 two times on the top blue line. Let me use a better actual parallel channel here. See this? See this type of thing? So we basically, actually, it's not exactly like that. That would, something like that makes more sense. But you can see, right? It's not, it was a clear consolidation to the side. We had our upside, we had two upside down head and shoulder attempts, which broke bear. Okay. So that is totally normal in the market. But we're kind of having a rounding top effect now, right? At least back down to 59,000 support, it looks like. We just lost the middle half line of 62,000 on this flash crash. Intraday is oversold and just bounced. But you can see it's not in a clear uptrend anymore. Okay. We had our clear reversal signals. It was so if you think of Wyckoff method, or I saw like on the front page yesterday, Mark Minervini method, which is essentially the Wyckoff method. Okay, we have our accumulation. No, excuse me. We have our it is accumulation, our markup, and then our distribution. So what's possible that might happen after is capitulation afterwards, just or sell off, right? The way I see it, it's the four phases. It's just basing, the price goes up, it bases, it tops out, and then the price goes down, right? Just psychologically. Again, it's like anything in the market. If you've ever worked at a retail store or sold anything online, you know, if an item is not selling, you have to consider lowering the price so that people will buy it. So it's attractive to buyers. Or so it actually sells the asset, right? So you want to watch out for that larger pattern structure. We tried to play the 1 hour upside down head and shoulders. Bulls tried yesterday, but it was overridden by too many bearish fundamental catalysts in the past week or two. Alrighty, so if you just Fibonacci this move of this leg to the top of this leg, right, as a swing trader, which is right here, right? We're just bouncing off our 236. So then your support level right here, let me mark it, is a 58,000, 54,000, 51,000, 46, 43, 40. All those levels are in play right now, 62,000. It's a matter of how oversold can we get before we bottom out in the short term. Oops. In the short term. Okay, so what's asking me is the last day candle. Basically, we had if you do candle analysis, okay, on the day, these are strong signals as well. We had our doji candle into our large doji candle, right? And this turned into basically a bearish engulfing candle, right? This red candle ate the whole green candle. So in that one day, somebody could have been sensitive to that reversal, yes, as well, on the daily. But at the time of making the video yesterday, we were here where that bearish candle did not exist yet. So that candle just started. It was green yesterday. So there's a perfect example of, again, it's trying to stay longer term, right? If we just look at here, you could see, again, this is not the most pretty looking price pattern to me, right? Because we had a sell off, and this is the second attempt at 68,000 just like a week ago, and pulling back now. So now the market is, to me, it's starting to get a little bit into the yellow zone, right? If this is turning into a double top right here at 68,000, all right, it's going to turn into a double top. Let's look at our measured move. It could be 17% down. If we lose 58,000, we could pull back down all the way to 50.48. But we're probably going to stop at around 53, 52, 51. In this middle zone right here usually is where it stops. Unless there's some extreme bearish catalyst, right? So again, keep in mind, it's not all about technicals right now because there's so much fundamental things. If you just came into the stream right now, let me list it off to you again. So for crypto, what's affecting the market right now? We had Robinhood hack last week. Coinbase earnings was not that great. We had the Bitcoin upgrade, which is actually, that was positive. But and then today was the big nail in the coffin, so to speak, for the pattern. The price pattern is President Biden signed the infrastructure bill, which contains the crypto provisions, the tax provisions clause and articles in it, right? So that's bearish. That means exchanges have to report any transactions over 10,000 US dollars. That's bearish. That's bad because we lose privacy as consumers, right? That's why the market is selling off so deep. Europe, America, and Asia are reacting to that news. That's what the red is all about. And Tesla sell off for the past 1 to 2 weeks as well, right? So it's not all about technicals. I was saying that yesterday. You can use technicals to find your like support levels. So where might we crash down to? We just hit this 200 EMA, and now if we don't get some sell off for the next like 12 to 24 hours, we might actually bounce up just off from a relief rally. Okay, so let me do two scenarios before I move on. So we could bounce up to about the 2% up to like a 63. All right, just so we hit this lower high somewhere here. If it's really, really bullish, we could retest 65,000. It's the top of the channel, the downward sloping wedge on the H1. Right, but about midpoint would be 63. And if everything fails and we keep crashing for whatever reasons, fundamental or technical, we're looking at 60,000 on the downside. Alrighty. So just getting you guys the big levels, okay? Because remember, crypto market is 3 times faster than the stock market because it's open 24 hours a day. You get 3 sessions basically, generally, right, per day. Whereas the Wall Street stock market is 1 session per day. So crypto is very quick to react. You get your evidence very fast if on the charts. All right, sometimes. So again, now that we have those levels, let's do a quick analysis on everything else. Okay, so on Ethereum, we already marked our lower support area, okay, in this blue right here. I was saying on it was probably like last week or yesterday or something like that. Watch out for these downside supports, our 200 EMA, 4,300. We just poked that. We just poked into it. So day traders having a field day right now. So happy right now. Bears or bulls, right? If you're a day trader, volatility is the name of the game. Day traders probably trading very happily right now, or attempting to. But we also, on the H1, we started having this bearish descending triangle type of pattern. So we went from the bottom to the top. Great. Topped out somewhere here at the top. That became the pattern. So I'm going to call out a support and resistance on this particular stream, right? 4,300. So again, another way you can look at it, let me bring up a better chart, like a Hyobi. Just bring up a clean chart, turn everything off. I remember saying this, is the uptrend trend line, if that gets broken, then we're in trouble, right? So it just got broken today. Here is our sign that maybe we might be in for a downtrend reversal, possible, or at least a deeper pullback over time, because this should have held. I kept saying 4,500, we lose that, we're in trouble. It's our support line right here. Bulls try to bounce attempt, but like I'm saying, if it's so obvious like this, usually at some point it breaks bear, just like the Dow Jones stock market. So again, just like Bitcoin, if we use Fibonacci, which I love because it works so well, we just crashed down to a 236 level, right? So even if you didn't use anything, just Fibonacci, that's one zone right there. You can also use support resistance all on the left side here. It just matches with the Fibonacci so well. So on Ethereum, our longer term support levels, 4,000, 3,800, 3,500. We're just testing this 4,360. But it's not going to crash like that unless we have some serious bearish catalyst and bearish momentum in the market. If it's business as usual, we should bounce at some point intraday. If it's business as usual. If something really bad happens in the market, then those support numbers, I'm calling that out on the screen right now. So you can kind of see, again, Wyckoff method. We have our basing, our accumulation period, and this could be a period of distribution. If we lose 4,350, then our capitulation phase might come into play. Why is this all happening? Because Federal Reserve tapering program starting in a couple of weeks. So many bearish catalysts. And then when I saw that to the moon tweet last night, I'm like, uh-oh, we could be in for trouble. All these things combined. So even as a crypto trader, it's good to keep one ear open on the fundamental news and one eye open on the like social media sentiment, because this could turn into a reversal pattern on the 4 hour. We tried to play the 1 hour bounce right yesterday, but if we lose this key level of support, we could flip down to three. We could fall down to 3,900 over time. So just kind of watch out for that, right? Just kind of watch out for that. And this kind of reconfirms my big idea in my profile, is that if Bitcoin cannot hold above 65 to 68,000, which we just lost 65,000 today overnight, we could see some serious downside all the way down to 53,000 Bitcoin, right? So I have to keep telling and reminding people, just because people are getting hyped on the internet and saying to the moon is not a real strategy. Although I wish you would go to the moon, but wishing and hoping is not a strategy either in stocks and crypto. Real technical analysis price patterns are. So, for example, how could we have foreseen this? You just draw the descending triangle as such on an H1. It was a double bottom yesterday, but then it just kept breaking bear. Once we lose the support of 4,500, it was game over for intraday bulls. A lot of people got stopped out. This is all like stop losses right here. You can see, you can just imagine it, right? People doing something like this setup, saying if the breakout plays, they'll do it like this type of deal. So some people played the last bounce for 4%, and then the breakout spot right here in the blue failed. All the stop losses getting triggered, and then the shorts taking profit on of their positions, closing their positions intraday, and some consolidation on the 5-minute, 1-minute charts. Business as usual in crypto markets. This is normal. Little sim triangle action going on here. I don't really like to stay on the 1 minute too long, but you could see there's a multiple trend line right here. So it looks on Ethereum, there might be a 1 to 2% move coming in. 2% bull break would take us to 44.66. A bear break would take us down to 4,300. Just play those levels. Again, you just watch for that. Set alerts, or you just do something, right? You got to get set up. If you're long, I would look for more just the lowest spot you can possibly buy in your time zone with a stop loss, right? If you're trying to trade this. If you're a conservative swing trader, I would actually kind of wait a little bit. Why would I wait a little bit? Because the volatility of the fundamental news catalyst is not really over yet. Tesla sell-off is not done. We have our last week of earnings this week. We have Walmart earnings. We have Target retail earnings, Home Depot, Lowe's, Nvidia. And I'm going to throw Tesla into there just because of we don't really know when Elon Musk is going to sell the rest of his stake. So there's some volatility behind the scenes in the market right now. Okay, someone's asked me a question. No alert system for crypto and trading. There is an alert system. I'm gonna talk about just price alerts. So if you're a pro or premium member, you can set alerts here on TradingView. Okay, I do that all the time on stream. You might be actually talking about something else, but what you do is you just right click and then you add the alert here, and you can do a lot of things. But the basic alert I do is just a price alert, horizontal price alert. So Ethereum, if it crosses the value price of whatever a price I've typed in right here, let's say 4,000, every time, 4,000 might be too big. They do like a 4,300, right? Boom. Here, It does work on SHIB. I've been doing it for like 2 months. You need to use the right chart, possibly. Um, 4,300 support level. Yeah, just try anyone. Try like a SHIB USDT chart, right? All right, so that's good to clarify. Let's just go down some support levels. I'm talking a lot right now because it's a whenever things crash, I need to be very, very clear about what I say on stream. So the longer term pattern, why am I on SHIB? The longer term pattern of Ethereum is okay. We had this descending triangle on our 4 hour, which broke bear, right? Which broke bear. Okay. Right into our resistance zone. Next, let's take a look at Binance. I might have to do clean charts like something else. Yeah. So again, what I was concerned about on Binance Coin is this our lower high? Because if it is, we could see a lower low in Binance. So just looking at this price leg on Binance Coin again is we had a clear uptrend into a consolidation, double top actually at 660. So again, if this turns into a double top, this will pull back down 7%. That's discount for you right there, 565. If you Fibonacci from bottom to top, that's right below our 236 level. And you saw somebody try to sell off right here. So what this is, okay? What this is it was the bulls' attempt at a rally. This should have broke, if we were in a real bull rally, we should have broke 700 this week or like last week. You know what I'm saying? This had to keep going like that. Because I remember back in the altcoin spring of like 2018, 2019, when altcoins were going bonkers after a crash, right? Um, we should have seen much, much stronger bull moves. It's kind of like sad and pathetic that in the short term, we topped out at 69,000 Bitcoin and could not go above that. That was a big warning sign to me. Also, the fact that we kind of lost the China market, right? Um, we lost some of the Asian countries and Asian exchanges in the past 1 or 2 years. Is that there's much less liquidity going on. There's much less volatility in the Asian market these days. Time session, like right now. 2 years ago, it was a completely different story. Asia session was like the most volatile. Now it's not like that anymore. Now the European session is the most volatile and the American session. Generally, from what I've seen with my eyes. All right, so the top right here. All right, just watch out for that. Oops. Just watch out for that. You want to see, get your fib levels up. You could just keep trying to draw your support and resistance, support trend line. Again, this X marks a spot right there perfectly. 565. Something's going to happen there if we break bear continually. Let me actually set an alert there because I'm so interested in that spot. It's a measured move down and a trend line support. You bet somebody's going to put their shadow buy order there. So trend line support and measure move long entry first spot. That's where I'm going to say Binance Coin. If we continue crashing next couple days, I'm interested in that spot. You can also see here if you draw a trend line as well. We tried to break out of here. That's what I'm saying. We tried to break out of here and failed. Now we're inside. So if it breaks down right into the buy zone. Okay. Cardano. Cardano in some strange megaphone pattern. Right, but Cardano's been weak. I've been saying this for a while now. It's lower low, lower high, lower low. We lost the triangle, breakdown, attempted rally into the breakdown in the past, what is this, 3 days, this weekend, past weekend. So our support level, we see our support level, like I said yesterday, right at 191, 190, 191. Okay, but again, this is not pretty to me. This is like chop zone. It's a consolidation. It's a daily larger term descending pattern to me. Bring up a better chart, clean chart. Hey, you see this? We establish our pivot point. That's pointing downwards. This was a clear uptrend on this left side when we had maximum Cardano hype going to $3. Okay, this is consolidation down. Is it possible in the future we could break out of this? Yes, yes. That's why the sell-off, what that's happening now in this moment in time, is probably temporary, right? In a bull case, we could bounce up, back up, retest, break out of here. There could be a potential setup here, right? But if we break down, if we have continuous bearish pressure, I'd be looking down at like a 177, right? Because this upside down head and shoulder, you can see it here. This pattern played out right there on November 2nd. Okay, so that's why on this intraday, on this blue arrow, kind of dirty. On a daily, it looked like upside down head and shoulders, but triple bottom or uptrend pattern, then explosion. Right here, explosion, nice. To resistance zone, sell off, crash, bounce up. It's like a ball bouncing down and up. So I would be looking for a measured move here of like a plus or minus 15% as a swing trader. That's serious. It might only be 10. That would bring us to like $1.72 on the downside. I'd be interested in that. It's an alert there. Long entry potential spot. So this is why if you have a pro account or a premium account, it's good to set some alerts. And then just right here on top of the resistance, I'm going to say, if it breaks above 210, that would be interesting. Or even 2. The 50% Fibonacci right here. This is very not pretty to me. Okay. This is a clear battle between the bulls and the bears. The bulls are saying, let's go up. The bears are saying, nope, let's not go up. Let's go down. Or it could be Bitcoin upgrade into, oh no, the infrastructure law got signed today type of event. Or Tesla, right? Correlation. So I might put an alert up here like 205. If we break 205, okay, I want to see a hold above there for some continued. Resistance breakout potential entry. Let's look at some Ripple. I know that's big in like Europe. I always have to say a quick thing about Ripple is not listed on USA exchanges anymore. They're in a lawsuit with the SEC institution, the Securities Exchange Commission here in America. That's why you never hear me talk about Ripple anymore, because I cannot trade it myself anymore. But it's still alive on every other global exchange out there. So Ripple, they apparently had some fundamental news about their payment system. Briefly saw that today. But you can see here on the larger term trend lines, long-term symmetrical triangle pattern. So it could go plus or minus like a 20, that's actually 40%. But I would just play the two resistance and support levels here. So using our close, 128 to $1, and so 110 right now is the midline support. I would do something like that. You can kind of see it even on a line chart that, all right, the uptrend, we're seeking out the support. So somewhere right at 110 would be an interesting level, or just below that, 110 to like 105. You might be getting some value. Intraday Bitcoin is bouncing as well on the 1 minute, 5 minute as we speak. But this is here how if you're a swing trader, you're getting into like better spots of value here. You know what I'm saying? Right? Because if you buy the top, that's why you never hear me hyping up breakout plays because this kind of happens all the time. Where if you try to long the breakout at the blue spot and it's wrong, you get pulled back down. So also, did this just become a head and shoulders pattern if you're very sensitive to the charts? Maybe, right? So what's the measured move down before we move on? 18%. Wow. Is that impossible? It might not be 18. 14%. Again, so it's just the same measured move we had. So 110 to $1 is an interesting buy zone if you're a long swing trader, somewhere right in this blue zone right here. But the risk with that is if it pulls back down, you might get a rejection like that if it turns to a bear market. Okay, let's do Litecoin. I'm going kind of slow today, but it's better to be accurate than fast. All right, so you can see Litecoin. I have a lot of stuff drawn here. The most important thing is this kind of top out right here on the 4 hour. Again, a lot of this pattern happened right here, the bear flag. Excuse me, just the flag. Doesn't have to be bear, the flag. And you see here, you have your trend lines as such. Boom, you have a resistance, your support, and support. Okay, if we're just playing a very tight swing trade type of thing, longer term, you can see if you zoom out on a daily, we could get a consolidation right up to 234, no problem. And again, with Litecoin, when I hear people hyping up Litecoin saying we're going to 500, 1,000 this month, to me, I'm saying it's possible, but I mean, you would need billions of dollars to come, millions and billions of dollars to come into the market, into Litecoin, to pump up to $500 to $1,000 this year. There's 2 months, there's 1.5 months left in this year. Right? We have Bitcoin options expiring the 3rd week of this month, or options and futures expiring 3rd and 4th week. Right? So you just play your support level here. You just play your supports. So we know we have a large support level somewhere in the 230 to 220 range. And that is confirmed with our EMAs, right here, our 100 EMA and our 200 EMA. We just lost the 50 EMA in the yellow. We're testing that. All our intraday bounce, our 5 minute, 15 minutes oversold. I'm going to be curious to see in the latter half of this Asia session, transition to European session, are we going to bounce up 2% more to 250? Right? Is this oversold going to hold? Because what it seems like is going to happen is if we're fading down for now, fade down here, we should bounce up, and then we're probably going to get overbought at some point in the late European session, going into the early American session. If Tesla sells off, if Bitcoin sells off, right, then we might see the pullback like this. This could be one scenario. We might double bottom as such. Or bull case, we might turn it to a higher high, higher low uptrend pattern. That'd be nice. Bear case is we reject down and continue down. That's why you just kind of prepare yourself for maybe 2 or 3 scenarios in the next couple of days, in the weeks, right? The bulls attempted, failed. The setup failed, move on, right? Get ready for next setup, next plan of action here. So we have our trend line on the top side. We lost that. Very tight downward sloping wedge. Okay, so your resistance 255, 260. Your support 248. 245, 240, like that. But I want to see a little bit more price action, right? If this closes as a 1 hour hammer, that's good. That would be good for the for the bulls, not the bears, bulls. This is a nice recovery, right? So again, this is what I'm saying. Right when I started the stream, we flash crashed. If you're a day trader, that's your bread and butter right there. But for me, I'm a swing trader. I don't like doing 1 minute, 5 minute trading. That's why I stick to longer term, because longer term, in my profile and idea, I've been saying we might pull back down, right? Longer term. Short term, we bounced up last night. Medium term, we came down, right? So there's 3 different or 4 different time frames at play right now. Okay, somebody asked me on YouTube, do you think now is a good time to buy, I'm assuming crypto or something, right? Okay, there's a couple issues right there. So for me, this is a educational stream. Also, it's never really good to go all in with anyone's money, right? Because in crypto and stocks, you can lose some or all of your money, right? And you have to realize if you're an investor type, a person, let me go back to Bitcoin. Somebody's asking me. I get this question a lot. People might be wondering all the time. You have to realize people coming late into the game in crypto right now, okay? Crypto used to be 2 years ago, 3,000. Bitcoin used to be 3,000 US dollars, right? Even in the flash crash pandemic of COVID, Bitcoin crashed down to $6,000. Right now, we're at $62,000 at this moment in time. If you were a follower on my YouTube like 2 years ago or a year ago, we were like all talking about this like Bitcoin 10,000, this setup, it might break out, right? I remember this setup, buying Bitcoin at 4,000, buying Bitcoin at 9,000, right? So if somebody's trying to long here at $60,000, where we're hesitating at the resistance, there's much higher risk right now. That's all I'm going to say. There's much higher risk. You could instantly lose 25 to 50% of your money. That's the downside risk on Bitcoin investment over the next 1 year. If somebody would just buy at this moment in time and close their eyes and forget about it, okay? Because what's happening is at this moment in time, we're hesitating at the all-time high in Bitcoin, $69,000. If we were in a true bull market, it should have looked something like this in mid 2019. You see that in the blue circle? It should have been 2020, early 2021. This action, where we don't have any significant pullbacks and hesitation. Okay, so in a bull case, somebody might say, but wait, what if we're just copying this particular? Let me zoom in a little more. Wait a second. What if we're just copying this section? It sort of looks similar. Or wait, what if we're right here? What if there's another leg up? It's possible, right? It's possible. The only problem is you play your support and resistance levels. Once we lose 60,000, you bet psychologically people are going to start getting very worried in the short term, right? If we're talking about price right now, a more affordable discount value price for crypto, for Bitcoin, would be somewhere in this $50,000 range, 45, 53 to $40,000 would be a better area of discount right here in the X. So again, this is not financial advice, just educational, real time. All right, where were we? I think we were talking about Litecoin, right? I didn't really finish that. And you might be like, no FOMO charts. Why are you so serious? Is because in crypto and stocks, you kind of have to be a little bit serious about it, at least a little bit, because losing money is no joke, right? If you make 10 to 25 mistakes on your trading with a improper risk management, a trader could blow up and go bankrupt. That's why it's serious. Leverage, you make 1 to 10 big mistakes, you're done. The trader's done. Blew up his account, it's probably in debt by now, right? That's why you have to have tight trading. You gotta be tight. So in a certain way, if you've ever played, I do not condone gambling, but if you've ever played Texas Hold'em poker, no limit, Texas Hold'em poker, even for like $1 or like, or for candy or something, or just for fun, if you cannot go all in every single hand, every single round, you cannot go all in, right? Because if you do that, you're risking 100% of your account. You lose once, boom, account is dead. Or you lose 25 to 50%, boom, account is dead, basically. Your buying power is gone, right? So that's why I'm so serious about this, because I've seen it happen to people. It's happened to myself before, long time ago, right? So I know from experience and from other people, other leverage traders internationally that I've heard about just blew up their account in like one day, right? You cannot let that happen to you. So you need to have some risk management in place and technical analysis to know that if we're going to go down, where could we go down to? Where am I going to buy that would make sense? And it's usually more than one spot. So Litecoin, right? I'm looking right here. If we lose 236 Fibonacci support level 245, I'm looking to buy 222, 200, definitely 175. If it ever goes back down to like $100 again or $50, I am definitely buying that. Assuming the crypto is still legal in the USA or your country, right? But we're probably going to stop at like 222, 222 on Litecoin if it's a bear breakdown. We can see here clearly the Fibonacci is drawing this right here. It's starting to turn into a descending wedge. So what I'm going to do for alert purposes is I just need to know if we lose 245 today on alert, that could be a yellow flag. $245 support level warning. All right. Okay, next. Someone's asking for FET. The fetch AI. Ooh. Okay, so this is an older setup that actually completed and that was a profitable setup. So now I'm going to erase that. Things are different now. Fetch, you can see here, it's correlated with Bitcoin. Resistance top right here at $1.05. So I remember drawing this like several times for people, this type of setup, right? And calling out, we're kind of near the top here at this top of the triangle. Also, we're at the top horizontal resistance. So I'm just going to call this zone. It's a huge zone, 83 to $1.20. That's a 40%. That's kind of too big, but it's not in such a clear uptrend anymore. It went from a consolidation stage to a bounce attempt. I'm concerned about is if the resistance holds here, it could turn into a longer term lower high and you could see downside. This is not very clear. It almost looks bot controlled. Okay, so I kind of watch out for this kind of coin. This is a very weird price action right here. Almost bought too many bots buying this thing. We're losing some volume. We're losing some momentum in the price. Yeah, the RSI is not looking, it's not really, it's in the middle right now, so it could go either way. So if Bitcoin goes down, most likely Fetch AI would go down. So I would start looking at some, just on the side of your mind, right? I already talked about XRP, so you could, that's in the beginning, or in like the middle. So let's, where we possibly buy like a 382, 66 cents, 56, and a 50 cents would be an interesting level. Again, if you're going to get a psychological double top, those are measurable. About 25% from the breakdown. So 25% would bring us to like a 55 cents. So somewhere in this zone, I can't trade this myself, but right here in the 55 zone, you might see, right? Obviously, you're going to get some intraday bounces, okay? Like in a 1 minute, 5 minute bounce, you're going to get like this action, bounce around like that. Maybe this. But if you're like a value swing trader investor, you're always looking for a low price, right? Because if you're this could be a potential high breakout buy zone, right? Where was a better spot? Right here in July, right there. It's the Wyckoff method. Accumulation, markup, possibly going into a period of distribution right now, and then possibly capitulation. Mark down again. Just in case, have that scenario in the back of your mind. All right. And in my profile, you can see me talk about this. We have to break above and hold above these resistances up here. This applies to Bitcoin as well. This chart looks very similar to Bitcoin, right? You have to have this break and stay above here, yellow circle. If not, it's just going to burn out. stop losses get triggered, shorts and put options or futures. You might not have options on this coin, but futures coming into play. They're going to push this down as far as they can once they know the momentum has been lost. The only thing that could possibly reverse it is we need some serious bullish fundamental news. We need something really positive to happen to the market. Okay. To really save the market right now. Okay. Phantom. Someone's asked for Phantom. All right. So this is a good chart we have on Phantom here. I mean, it's already charted. So you can see that we were in the higher high uptrend pattern. But we just double topped. Okay. That's why sometimes I like to use a line chart. We just double topped literally 1 week ago. I might have called that on the stream. That's why I drew these blue lines here. Is we just hit the first target today at the 222 range. Okay, so the measure move was 14% to downside. We almost hit that. We did hit that. If it goes 2 times the target, going down to $1.87. So we already had this first one, target, but it's holding above the upper trend line here. You're gonna have to watch that. Watch out for that price. If you lose that, then you probably see a continued downtrend move as such until it gets to a really good spot of value would be like $1.20. That would be the 618 and our trend line support. So you have 2 supports right there. I would be interested in that because then you get a full price reset, RSI reset, and that's like the big spot right here. All right, hopefully that makes sense. All right, looks like we got a. Is it crypto? Is this DeFi? Could you confirm? Because there's Time Finance on the London exchange as a stock, or there's Time Bitcoin pairing on as a DeFi coin. So could you please confirm? Wonderland? Okay. Yeah, I'm in USA, so I don't have access to this. Let me just make sure I have the correct. Let's just use this one. Very volatile. Very volatile. Let me check something on the side here before I start. Wait, this is Timex. This is something different. But the fact, okay, you have to realize that the fact that I can't find it easily is like a yellow flag, you know what I'm saying? On TradingView. So obviously not the most popular coin, not the most liquid coin. Oh yeah, if it's not on TradingView, I can't, yeah. Do you have another request, maybe? It has to be on TradingView. Anything on TradingView I can analyze. So let's keep going down the list while I wait for that. Yeah, so whatever I just said about the time coin, just cancel that, retract that, because it's the wrong chart. So if you have another one, let me know. All right, so Solana, you want to look at your support level kind of at like a 217. I'll just call support level for now, rapid fire. So like a 224 to 217 range on Solana, right? We obviously got stopped out on this hypothetical trade yesterday. The upside down head and shoulders did not work. So we start looking for downside 214-ish. Doge, you can see here the downside trend line is at like 23 cents down here. You see this? So Doge, I'll be looking for some, and it's been downtrending here. This is very correlated with Elon Musk right now on his Twitter. So you want to just see right here, 23. Just a heads up for my stream. I'm a USA trader, so I just focus on like the top, maybe like USA coins. So there's only 50 on my list. So if you want to request that's going to get analyzed, is probably just anything top 25 market cap or even top 50 market cap is probably fine. Doge BTC. Okay. Looking at Doge BTC on the Binance chart, a lot of price history here back in the day. Yeah, because if somebody asks me for like something I can't find it, then we can't look at that. So we Fibonacci this all the time. Again, you have to realize Elon Musk has a lot of influence on Doge, Bitcoin, and SHIB and Tesla, obviously. Okay, but the fact we're having such a deep consolidation is not so bullish right now. So for me, I'm kind of interested in Doge just on fib levels. If it ever comes down to 284 or 161 range, right? If it ever comes down to 165, I mean, that's some deep discount value from the relative high, right? That's what I'm talking about. If the price is too high and nobody wants to buy this thing, you got to wait for some deep discount as much as possible. You can use the indicators to kind of give you a hint of maybe when you might see like a little bounce, like we just had the bounce a couple of days ago, or excuse me, about a month ago on this chart. But again, it's not low price on anything where the oscillators are just kind of stuck here in the middle, right? So that's what you want. Um, that's what you want to see, right? Like on October 20th, there's a relatively low spot of value on Doge. Right now, you're floating in the middle. So it could go either way on the longer term chart. And it gets kind of too choppy here. This is just bot controlled, so I might have to go back to just the Doge USDT because this has more humans trading it. So you can see here our much longer term pattern. This rising wedge, we lost it right there. Almost ascending triangle. We lost it. I'm surprised we lost that because Bitcoin crashed. So the measure move here, 5% down, which we almost hit. Okay, so yeah, if you're just because I'm a swing trader and this is no FOMO charts, we always look for value. It might not always hit the value spot, but the general mentality is you just never want to be the guy who buys 72-cent Dogecoin and is holding until now, unless you're like a hodler. If you're an investor hodler, the swing trading charts might not actually apply to you, right? So because that time frame is like 5 or 10 years away from now. But if you're a swing trader and you're talking about what's going to happen this week or next day, you just never want to be a guy who's like, if you're trying to swing trade and you bought 72-cent Dogecoin, not you, but hypothetical person, you know, FOMO trader who bought 70-cent Dogecoin and had no stop loss and no plan and just crashed down, right? Um, that's, unfortunate because we just want to look at value, right? We're trying to get a discount, whatever we're doing. And TA can help that. So right now it's just floating in the middle. Can't really give a. It's not at a great spot right now. Is all I'm saying. It's riding a trend line. That's all it's got going on for it on a 4 hour daily, right? Yeah, you just gotta wait for as low as possible price. And for me, I'm just waiting for Elon Musk. Like he needs to sell his Tesla stake over time. And what I was saying in yesterday's stream is he's not going to do it all in one day because he might get lawsuits for doing that, right? Because if he crashes the price down too much and makes people lose money, people are going to sue him for that. So in stocks, people like to sue, like lawyers, law firms like to sue other people for that manipulation type of deal. So he learned from Dogecoin. I don't think he's going to sell, you know, every single day, right? He just took some profit for tax purposes, right? And it's like he made like billions of dollars maybe in profit, or at least hundreds of millions, right? And uh, he might let it rest for a couple of days or a week, right? And institution, you have to realize institutions, they're selling at VWAP average price. And, they're never going to make a stock go like that if they're trying to get out of it, right? This is what I'm talking about, Wyckoff method. I love Wyckoff method, right? You have a stock that comes down and then it bases into accumulation. Then it marks up into a markup phase. And then at some point you hit the distribution phase, and this is where institutions start selling in that range, right? They're buying in a range and they sell in a range because they have hundreds of millions or billions of dollars they need to get out of the stock or crypto. And then once they're out, retail, which they consider weak hands, right, or weak money, right, just so that in their mind, right, is because there's not enough it's called weak hands because retail is not enough money physically in the position, right? There's nobody holding it. There's no big $1 billion whale holding it anymore. So then you get the sell off. This applies to stock and crypto, right? So if we just look at the whole market, let's go to Bitcoin. Here. Bitcoin, you had like a little baby Wyckoff action happening, right? The accumulation right here, the markup phase, the consolidation, distribution, maybe for swing traders. I'm not sure El Salvador government is the one, selling this, but somebody's selling it or at least trying to prevent it. Somebody's trying to prevent this from going above 70,000. It's very obvious. So we might see a period of pullback, right? To where? I'm looking at 53,000 Bitcoin possible. Okay. Went an hour, so I probably only looked at not that many cryptos, but the same psychology and the same setup will basically apply. Is look for your downside your support levels, and as long as it gets very oversold on almost every time frame intraday, that'll probably be some kind of short-term bottom. Maybe we'll take a look at SHIB because people, whenever we look at Doge, they want me to look at SHIB. So let's look at SHIB. You can see here after the massive run up, now it's in a descending price pattern, which is descending. So if it is going to go down, the measured move is maybe 20 to 40% down out of this thing. So 20% would bring us to a nice spot of value, 3793. Let me go ahead and right there. I want to put an alert right there. I want to buy there. If it ever gets down there, it's a nice flash support bounce spot. Let me see this. 25th entry long first spot. Yes, if you guys are coming into my stream right now, or or you're just following me from now, I've been talking about the two setups on Bitcoin, which I'll review that. But basically, on Bitcoin, if we don't hold above 65,000 and break above $70,000 Bitcoin, my profile idea says we're going to see downside. Right? That does not mean we can never go to 80, 90, 100,000 Bitcoin in the future. It's just the short term price right now. So for SHIB, all I'll say for SHIB USDT is that this support here at the 50% retrace 4682, this thing needs to hold. This support needs to hold so badly, or else we could see just a bear break to the downside, stop losses getting crushed, bulls try to bounce it, bears say no, right into a nice sweet low spot of discount value right on SHIB. However, if this Bitcoin sell-off is not prolonged and it's going to stop in this week, I'm hoping on a lot of coins we'll find a support level and bounce back up and try to regain momentum for a bull breakout. So 1 day of red, even like 1 week of red, is not the death of crypto. If you've been in this market for a long time, right, for many years, and you're a swing trader investor, you know, even if the market crashes, and as long as Bitcoin is illegal in your country and the world, and exchanges are legal, it's still okay. It's gonna bounce back. It's gonna bounce back. But okay, the reason why I don't like to call out too many prediction and forecasts on my stream is just you just look at the evidence of technical analysis. Rarely, it's very rare for someone to come into my chat and actually provide a chart, right? I think only 2 people have done that, 3 people have done that in like 2 months, right? That's just something I'm noticing. A lot of people are based on fundamentals and news, and maybe that's why you're here on TradingView, right? But on TradingView, as a technical analyst, all you need to look at for like 80-90% is the chart. And then keep a little bit eye open, ear open for sentiment, social media, and news events, right? Because at this moment in time, right, this moment in time, Bitcoin is seeking out its lower low, right? The support level, right there. Okay, so we just bounced off this support trend line right here. Okay. So if we're going to stay in this channel, sure, we could bounce up anywhere to 63 or 65. And if it doesn't break out, we could see even a lower low to like a 59,000. We have seen this play out on a smaller scale, just happened like 2 weeks ago. Okay, so I wouldn't be surprised either if we broke out bull, back tested 63, and then we try to do 70,000. Those are the 2 scenarios that we're playing here. All right, let's move on to stocks though. I think we've talked enough about crypto. I basically talked about bull scenario for going up, short-term, mid-term scenarios of support and resistance, and then a bear case scenario if we go down. That basically applies to every single coin. So let's go to stock market, because stocks, we're still in this earnings season. And even if you're international, global, and you don't trade stocks, you still need to pay attention to it as a trader and investor, because the USA market, just money size wise, is the largest stock market by dollar volume in the world. Okay, let me just bring up this list. You just type in your Google. We're talking about market capitalization. So the largest stock exchanges is the USA Stock Exchange, and then basically number 2 is China, Shanghai Stock Exchange. And then you have a combination of the Euronet, and then Japan Stock Exchange, Hong Kong Stock Exchange, what is it? Shenzhen Stock Exchange, London Stock Exchange. Then you got India, Bombay Stock Exchange. Then you have Canada, Toronto. Then Germany, then Saudi Arabia. That's like the top 12. And then NASDAQ of Europe. Okay. Australia's in here too as well, in the top 20. So you see that? That's why you got to pay attention. That's why you got to pay attention. Right. Also, why are we coming down? It's correlated, because I've been calling this on my ideas as well. Is that right here? We're on the S&P 500, where we were literally at the top. Literally at the top of this resistance trend line. So in my idea, I said, watch out for this being a temporary top. Okay, so if you look at this chart of S&P 500, this is the USA stock market representation. 80% of the US stock market is this index, right? And you flip to a Bitcoin, look at this correlation, right? Just from like the November line. Let's go back and forth. See that? The topping, you pull back, one bounce attempt, and you're pulling back down. You go to Bitcoin. Topping, pull back, one bounce attempt, but Bitcoin's open 24/7, so then you're pulling back down, right? The correlation is very strong right now. So we have to be very aware of what's going on in the world, not just your favorite altcoin. That's what I keep warning people about. If you're experienced in the market, you know that crypto sometimes gets correlated with stocks, commodities like oil and metals like gold, they're all related. It's just a matter of what's happening in the world. So with S&P 500, you can see we have multiple levels of support on the way on the downside. Okay, like a 4,500 or 4,600 or like a 4,500, right? Anything like this could happen long term in the next month. Why? Because the Federal Reserve is starting their tapering program, meaning the Federal Reserve is going to buy less bonds, meaning they're going to provide less support for the stock market. That's bearish. That's why you hear a lot of big money managers on CNBC and Bloomberg say, don't buy stocks next year. That's why they're saying that, because they're anticipating we might see deep pullback. The tapering program lasts for 1 year, about to start, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if this is a temporary market top for everything, stocks and crypto. That's why. Watch out for that. Just keep that in the back of your mind if you're trying to be serious about trading and investing. Okay. We'll look at Tesla as well. We'll just take a look at these indexes while we're here. Dow Jones. It's got erased. Dow Jones. You can see here another resistance, pandemic high of pre-pandemic high of 2020. You can see it right there. We're just getting stuck right at the resistance zone, and then we have an intermediate trend line as such. So again, same problem is, unless we have some really good bullish fundamental news, which probably is not going to happen because this is all an earnings reaction. In my Discord, I've been informing people about it for 4 weeks straight. This is all stock market earnings. We bottomed out here. Okay. This was drawable. Like, you could forecast this out as a topside target. Like I'm saying with Elliott wave, I keep saying this every stream, we have our 5-wave Elliott wave pattern completed. So now the reversal of the ABC pattern correction might occur. Watch out for that on indexes and stocks. NASDAQ, same problem. Actually, so Bitcoin is much more correlated with NASDAQ chart. This looks almost the same. This one little price bounce right here. The bear to bull move. So back tested this support level here at 15,590 and it bounced up. But what the problem is if we don't break above 16,000, this could become a lower high and pull back down straight to 15,413. Fibonacci levels also confirm that right there. So 236 would be like a 15,6K or 15,3K. If it's deep pullback, 15,000, that's where you might see a lot of bulls start to buy in that zone. Excuse me. All right, so let's go to some volume movers. We don't need to look at every single stock. We had Lucid earnings today. What else do we have? AMC, nice bounce. Let's look at Tesla because that's the big news right now. Tesla. Okay. So if you're not following the news about Tesla, Elon Musk confirmed on a Twitter poll last Sunday that he's going to sell 10% of his Tesla shares, his stock, and he already began executing that last week. He did not finish selling all of his shares, and so we're kind of on yellow alert right now if you're a trader. Excuse me. Let me turn this watch list off so we just focus on Tesla itself. So our $1,000 level is our support on Tesla. Even if you didn't know, if you did not know that, excuse me, let me get some water. Even if you didn't know that Elon Musk was going to sell his stock, his shares, the charts are telling me red flag, yellow flag zone, okay, that we are losing some serious momentum on the way up here. All right. I wanted to short Tesla, but all the shorts were taken. That's another sign that a lot of people are gearing up to short this. A lot of people online were saying they're going to execute put options, sell options. A lot of people saying they're going to short. I wanted to short, right? And then Elon Musk says he's going to sell, and it's like, boom, game over in the short term for intraday traders. Not game over for the stock, but bears taking over, I mean. So what's the longer term pattern here on Tesla? Looks like lower low, downtrending. If this rejects 1029 as our resistance, then we might hit 900 eventually. Somewhere here, a lot of people have their targets like 900, 850, but it looks like it might bounce right here on 921. Just on this pattern. We have a, we had the bounce attempt. This is what I'm saying. If you remember my stream yesterday, I said we might bounce attempt. Okay, at some point. Use it hourly. Okay, we did get this bounce attempt. All right, it did fade down into a bounce attempt, but this is still lower low. This is good. If you're a bear, if you're a short, if you're a put, this is good because you want to keep seeing this thing reject like that. Let me make this huge line. Let me make it a huge, like, gigantic pink line. Okay, you want to see that stay under there. This you can see that, right? The big yellow line. That's the trend line resistance. All right, what you want to watch out for is if the price ever does this, breakout, higher low, uptrend reversal, then we're in trouble as a short. All right, but this is not the largest heavy volume you've seen on selling. It's not. Right, the first initial is. So you just want to try to focus on the price action. And I would be wary of personally trying to time it on perfect volume climaxes. Like I wouldn't try to do that. Is if you have a target, once it gets to your target, just sell into the target. Take some profit into the target. That's money management. Again, this is educational. I'm not talking to one person right now. I'm just saying if I shorted this thing, let's say on the break of like a 1162, then my stop loss would have been like up here above the shoulder, and then I would have had two sell targets, one take profit here at 6% and another right at 12%. So I might have already been out of here. The third target at 18%, the fourth target at 21%, like that. That's how I think that's how a lot of experienced day traders would play the short, right? Is they're trying to get out at a relative price. You know what I'm saying? Is they're not going to try to time in, just like get that one spot. That's a lot of pro day traders. They just scale out 10%, 20%. They're in profit, or they at least move their stop loss down. If I was shorting this, my stop loss is not up there anymore. My stop loss would be somewhere here now. So I'm protecting all this profit here. So that's just general education for like shorting, taking profits and stuff like that. But, if we know he's not done, that's why it might be further reason to just hold it. But, all I'm saying is you never want to become a bag holder or like empty bag holder or lose all your profits just because somebody couldn't sell. That happens. That's a problem too as a trader. So the only thing I'm looking at is we had the head and shoulders pattern. Nice. What is that? 8% downside. We already hit that 60%, double the target. So now we're kind of in like a yellow flag zone. We hit the two. Just for TA, I'm not thinking about Elon Musk's position. Just on technical analysis alone, the chart pattern, the head and shoulder has been completed. So now it's a matter of just playing these two resistance and support levels. Right? So right here, 1033 and like a 984. So again, it's not financial advice for anybody. It's just educational. All I would look for tomorrow is I want to see this yellow resistance hold. It needs to hold. It's been holding 3 times. That's good. So then the shorts and the puts, and hopefully Elon Musk will try to do something here. If he sells, then you might see the continued this action. Right? So if we lose 980, I can bet with a certain amount of certainty that shorts are going to execute another position down, because day traders they're not holding. If you're holding something right now, you're a swing trader right now. Day traders, they would just trade the one day and they're done. And maybe they'll try to get this next day and they're done. And then maybe swing traders might have taken their closed their position. Then the bulls tried to rally attempt and it failed. So then the shorts reopened a position on the day. Shorts reopened position. Shorting, then they would close their position on the day. Maybe a swing trader might have closed his position today. That's what this sell-off is. A little bit of a short squeeze. I'm not going to call it short squeeze. It's just closing of the shorts. So now your big levels are intraday is 1,000. You lose 1,000 psychological, you might see some intraday sell-off. But the problem is on our longer term time frame, like a 4 hour, there is some kind of double bottom building on our 1 hour too. So maybe you might see one more sell-off. Like this is one potential scenario on Tesla. You might see one potential sell-off. And then this is that final line where bulls are saying, either at these spots, 900 or 800, that's where everyone's like, okay, I'm going to buy Tesla just as an investment or something like that. Could happen. The 4 hours in the zone. The 5 minutes neutral, 15 minutes neutral, flagging. Oh, this is why we had a double bottom. That's why we closed the position, pumped up today. But losing a little bit of momentum on this 15 minute, 5 minute. Looks like it wants to try to tighten up. So yeah, just play very tight. All right, so that's Tesla. Let's see. Let me look at my list here. What else? Because I have a free weekly watch list of volatility. Oh, let's look at Walmart. And if you're in the USA, this is what I like to say about stocks is you don't have to try, I don't, my view on it is I don't try to chase everything in the world. I don't try to chase every stock or every crypto. I just trade what I know. So my kind of wheelhouse is like technology, health, care, entertainment. So that includes like crypto, and that includes like all these tech companies. That's why you always see me talking about them. So I'm not a real like materials guy. You know what I mean? I'm not a semiconductor utilities type of guy. I'm a more of just what's popular in the world. Another way to think about it is just if you look in your room right now, what brands are you using? Those are the stocks I would recommend to just keep an eye on. So for me, what is it? It's like most people have Apple, most people have Microsoft, two computers, right? Um, Phones, Apple or Samsung or Android, Google. What else is there? Where do people drink coffee? Starbucks. Where do people eat? McDonald's in the USA. Where do people shop? Walmart and Target. Where do people buy home supplies? Home Depot and Lowe's, right? It's just like wherever you go to buy stuff is the companies. I could make a watch list of like stores around my neighborhood. You could make like a 25 watches and boom, there you go. You have a watch list now, right? So it's just very simple for stocks. European or like Asian stocks is very different, but USA, it's pretty easy to make a USA stock watch list. So let's look at some of it. We got earnings coming up on Walmart. So what I'm saying is, just reiterate, if we have bearish earnings on Walmart, you could see potential head and shoulders pattern forming. That might be like 3% down on Walmart. So you might hit the zone in the circle like a dollar 142. If it's bullish, then we could reverse up to the blue line. That's why the blue circle, the blue line on Walmart is what I'm looking at. Wait, did they just report earnings today? No, 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 it's tomorrow. Tomorrow. All right. Next, what do we got? We have. Let's look at Lucid because Lucid earnings just finished today. So I actually purposely skipped it. Okay. So just these two numbers, the EPS and the revenue is negative. Okay, that's not the full story though. They have demand on orders. Okay, but it's not the greatest reaction. Again, I don't like to trade earnings on the same day. I like to wait a day or two. So this to me was not the greatest reaction. If it breaks bull tomorrow for a couple days, you might see it go to 50. Dollar lucid. If it breaks bear, then the same logic applies. We're going down to 40. Those are the two gray lines I drew yesterday. The post-market reaction is not strong, maybe because crypto crashed and everyone's paying attention to crypto right now. We are getting some intraday pullback on crypto as well. Some of these other Asian countries are opening and they're shorting down as well. So again, we're going to rewind to Bitcoin at the end of the stream. Target. Target with the run up into earnings. So whenever that happens, it's easy to get a sell off because people are taking their profit. This shooting star candle on the daily today. So somebody's taking their profit on this thing, on the stock, Target. So if it breaks just this last measured move, like a 4 to 6%. So if we have bad earnings, it could pull back 4% to like a 252. We have really good earnings on sales and revenue events, we could hit 276. Those are two short-term targets for Target stock. They just barely survived last quarter. This is cool. Also, quick FYI on Trading View, they added this, I think this year. This never used to be here. The financial stuff, numbers here, the earnings and the income statement and the performance might have been there. But the financials, this never used to be here. So you have a real advantage now if you're signing up for Trading View. I remember Trading View when it was just this top part, just the dollar value and the range, days range, and the earnings date. None of this used to be here. Even the profiles here, it's like wonderful, right? So Trading View just did really, really great on adding some new features that are really useful. You get the performance. Last year, 1 year, the financials, you can see this. It's not perfect, but if you're into numbers, boom, it's all right here. So this is like what Warren Buffett taught, you know what I mean? I know a lot of people don't like to look at financials, but for stocks, you definitely have to know a little bit of the basics of financial analysis, right? Just to get an overview, market cap, very large. The earnings, tracking the earnings. I like to use a different website for this kind of stuff, but you get the three basic stuff: income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow, right? If you read any of Warren Buffett's books, it's exactly what it says. We need to know how to understand that as an investor, as well as the charts. Excuse me. All right. So, but I love Trading View, right? You get all these tools here on the left side, all these indicators, the built-ins, so wonderful. You get so many tools, right? You get your alerts, watch list. Trading View really is the best. So useful if you know how to use it. All right, let's kind of wrap things up here. Maybe the next one I'll do is like let's do one more retail. Do Macy's, right? So Macy's in a clear uptrend, but still getting topping out here. It's in the New York Stock Exchange, so you can see here getting topped out at this trendline resistance. But the beautiful thing, why I'm focusing on stocks instead of crypto, is sometimes in stocks you get a beautiful uptrend runner like this, right? Sometimes you don't get this in crypto. And Macy's in the USA is a real company. It's not like the most popular, but if you don't know what Macy's is, it's a retail. It's like kind of like a upper mid retail store. They sell like clothes and home goods, men's and women's clothing and home goods. But it's kind of like everything is at least like $20 or $25. It's not a cheap store. They sell like brand name designer, brand name stuff, clothes like you know what I'm saying, right? So it's that kind of store. And sometimes you just get a nice, easy investment, right? You buy any one of these support levels with a stop loss, like I did, and you try to make some profit, right? As opposed to you flip back to like a Bitcoin, okay? Yeah, it had a nice runner up, but some of the altcoins did not. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes that's why I just don't even look through crypto. Right? I look at crypto. If there's nothing there, then I'll look for stocks. And sometimes you'll find something like this, and you're like, oh, hey, it's right at a trendline support level. Okay. I'm gonna put a swing trade on, and it was successful on a known company. So Macy's, all I'm gonna say here is if you kind of measure these moves, it's large, 25%. So let me bring up an indicator. Let me just bring up one of these. What's the ATR? $1.27. So it looks like average 4 or 5%. Okay, so 4 or 5%. Either way, on earnings would be this. You're looking at $29.32 on Macy's. If you go 2 times that target, 8%, right down to a support level, 28.41. All right, so just watch out for that. Palantir. Let's see what this person's talking. Okay, so Palantir. No, this is not Palantir. This is Palantir. All right, so we had an upside down head and shoulders, which did complete, but we had a lower high and then a lower low on. I wonder why the earnings. Let me just check this. Why was it not good on November 9? It just might not have been strong enough. Could have been their guidance. All right, so something was not positive in that earnings report. And for me, as a swing trader, all I'm looking at, well, there was a double bottom here. There's support at $22, obviously, right? There is immediate support at $23. But because of the earnings reaction, you have to understand Palantir, okay, because the earnings has been released and that's been priced into this, you have to realize where we are with S&P 500. S&P 500, we're at a topside resistance spot, okay? That's why, for no reason, apparent reason, it could fade down as well. It could pop up as well, but you know, if the larger term market pulls down, look at the NYSE, right? This is the New York Stock Exchange index, which I highly recommend to look at if you're trying to trade Palantir. It's right there, right here. So either way, kind of losing a little bit of this momentum right here on the New York Stock Exchange. So come back to Palantir. The reason why we rallied back here is because the whole market S&P 500 was rallying. So there's a strong correlation here. Just double check that. October. Yep, exactly. Right. So I would be a little careful of this. It is, you know, a bear. Not a bear, but it was a bear flag for like a day. But this is not really ascending wedge to me on the hourly. This is more of, it was a double bottom into consolidation and it broke above that. And now your immediate support is 23.11. You could reverse Fibonacci if you want. So you could try to get a target. If it keeps the uptrend, if it maintains, you might hit the next resistance level at $24. But if you fail, $23 are line in the sand. If that breaks down, you might consolidate back in here in the $22 range again. You can see though, there are some support levels on the downside here. So again, in the bull case, the price action, if assuming everything goes well in the larger stock market, is you might see a lower high bounce to 24. But if the entire market starts crashing, let's say Tesla starts selling off and people start panicking, then this might be a very, very baby bounce and you might see more downside to 20. So there's actually more support at $20 down here. On a daily though, for Palantir, what I'm seeing, which is kind of not good, is you already this stock lost that trend line already. So that's already a yellow flag to me. So the setup now is, okay, maybe it's going to be just like that typical test. If it cannot break above, then it's going to break down, right? So maybe this is starting to play now with the target being the $24. Hopefully that helps. All right, let's take a quick look at Bitcoin because we got our intraday crash again. That's starting over again. We'll flip back to crypto to end the stream the next 15 minutes. Yeah, so what I just gave is real technical analysis, support resistance targets, the real method. Classic method. All right, so looking at Bitcoin on the daily, this candle's not completely closed yet. It's going to take another like 22 hours or so for this candle to close on the daily, so I'm not going to use that as a reference. We just started the new week. We could maybe start with a weekly. All right, so we're starting weekly consolidation on this chart. This is why I'm saying to get like watch out for this, right? You have the resistance zone. I've been saying this for like a month now. You have resistance zone up here, anywhere above 65 to 70,000. So if we can't hold this, it's obviously looking like we could see some longer term downside, right? Again, to that 50, 53,000 right here. It might stop right here at 58 though, first. Then we start zooming in. Daily. You can see this is like the Palantir example. You have your first crash down and then your rebound. But if the rebound fails, then if there's some bad catalyst in the market, then you might see a pullback down. Happens all the time. Lower low. And the fact that we try to find our first support hammer here on the hourly, which is failing, and we're breaking down again. So it's September 7th all over again. As you'll see, the trend line resistance up here to the top. So unless this trend line gets broken right above like 62, 63, it's looking bearish. Bears are in complete control right now on the 15-minute chart. We are not going up on this 15-minute chart. Okay, so this is a key lesson here on trend. This is obviously uptrend. This was a downtrend. This is sideways. This is down. Okay, so you could just, in those four ranges, you can determine there's weakness in the market. Because if we were in a real bull market, in the past 3 days, we should have done this. Up to down to up. It needed to go up in the past 3 days. That's why bulls, we tried to play this 1 hour upside down head and shoulders, which failed on bearish fundamentals and news, especially with that infrastructure law that got signed today by President USA, and then shorts take over. Shorts take over. So now you're staring at where's your lowest low going to be for the next entry on the trade. To answer that question, we just look at our support levels. All right, so we got $60,000. And again, you might be wondering, like, why is this guy so intense about the charts? It's because, I try to provide education and information and knowledge that's real technical analysis, because with this, with my chart setups and education, like you can use any size account, $100, $1,000, $10,000, $100,000, $1 million, $100 million. It's just you manage the orders differently. But the TA remains the same. The chart pattern remains the same, right? Doesn't matter what size account you have. It matters about your risk management next. So we got 61,419 as our support level, 62,000 as well, which we lost. Okay. So an easy way I like to do Fibonacci this thing. All right, so we just lost our 618. Are we oversold on hourly? We are. 4 hours not. So there's still some room to go here. Right, we're just getting some early bounce on 15-minute H1. I'm hoping overnight we could find a temporary bottom on Bitcoin. That would be nice. The larger term pattern, though, is seemingly looking like this in the 4 hour. Okay, so we just maybe barely lost our bottom side here. But this could be a nice spot of value if we stop and hold here, because right, you've seen it happen before. We have a strong flash crash, another flash crash, which is testing that support on the bottom. So we're testing our support right now. That's mentally what's happening. We're going to stay around here in the 60,000 probably for like 3 days or something like that, right? Because it's just going to stay here in this range, 618.786.88 right here. So what is that? 58, 60, and 62K. Hopefully bulls will come in and buy this thing, right? Because then over time in the next couple weeks and month, we can try to regain and come back into the trend line, into the zone above. But the problem is on your longer term time frame is, yes, your 1 minute, 5 minute might be like bouncing up. Your 15 minute, 1 hour might bounce up, but then your 4 hour daily is getting kind of weak and your weekly chart is getting weak, right? So that's why the longer term time frames are kind of yellow zone right now. If you're just trying to scalp, your 1-2%, today's your day, right? Your next 24 hours, this is your time to do that. Swing trader, we're looking for value. Investor is like, this is getting kind of sketchy because of the bearish news, right? You see this, right? If we're going to lose this trend line, we never recover, you're going to see some downside. But our 15 minute, we're hitting this double bottom on the RSI. So I'm hoping we might see one more pullback down to like a 60,000 or somewhere and then bounce up to there. Bounce up to like a 61, 62K overnight in the European session. Hopefully that works out well for anybody trying to day trade. For me, I'm not day trading, so I don't need to worry about that. That's why I have less FOMO. I'm not a day trader anymore that much. Just get your big levels up, set your alerts. And then as long as you're on your phone or computer or on your crypto exchange, you're ready to go for next trade. So does anybody have any last minute questions or requests? I usually go 2 hours. I talk about stocks and crypto. Anything about technical analysis, charts, stocks, crypto, education at all, this is your chance right now because I might not stream. The only reason I'm streaming today is because we had some serious bear break. That's why I came back on stream. Usually I only stream like once a week. So, okay, we got our alert. 245. This means we're breaking bear. There we go. So that's one perfect way of how alerts can alert you, right? Because I would not have been looking at the Litecoin chart at this moment in time if I never put that alert up. So I'm going to say a nice break on ETH. We got a bear break on ETH, right? It would be interesting on this 15 minute if we get a real Elliott wave pattern. So 3, 4, we might get one more leg down before this thing's over. Before we get an ABC correction to the upside. And that you could see, it created another upside down head and shoulders. That's just been everywhere in the market, or at least a higher low reversal. This is the kind of visual picture that if you're in the markets every day or all the time, like you just get used to this. It happens all the time. Rinse and repeat, recycle. But the fact that we're bear breaking, and a lot of people, if you lost money today, sorry to hear that. It's unfortunate. It's just if you lost a lot of money, I would say take a break. Like don't even look at the market. You know what I mean? If you only lost some money and you're ready for the next trade on the trade, then you start getting ready for the next plan of attack as bull. Meaning, where's your next support levels where you're going to buy, where it could get so oversold that that's such a good price for today. You're going to buy this thing, and the chances are it's going to pump up, rally up, and then you got to sell that. You got to take a profit if you're swing trading. Investor, you're waiting for low, low, low value, which is not now. All right. Okay. Looks like we have no questions. So for me, because I like to look at a lot of things, I'm going to power through right up for 6 more minutes, and then I'm going to end. So if you have to go, please go, do whatever you got to do. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching the stream today, live on TradingView, YouTube, and Twitch. If you liked what you saw today, if you learned something, if you want to support me in any way, go ahead and give me a follow on all these platforms. I also have a free Discord chat group that's free for now. If you want to join, social media links are on my profile. I'm a more longer term swing trader. That's why you never see me do day trading stuff. And I'm coming back live again today just because we had a market crash. Thanks so much. I'm just going to end with a couple charts that I need to look at. I'm going to go ahead and look at that. Let's take a look at Forex because not a lot of people ask me for Forex. It's going to be interesting. These are the Forex major pairs. So obviously Euro USD in a daily downtrend. Okay, so this is another reason why Bitcoin could be crashing. All assets crashing right now. Not crashing, but pulling back. It's a problem. Double top. What's the measurement of the double top on Forex? 5% from the breakdown. We're not even there at the target yet. So 5% is $1.11. On Fibonacci, where are we on Forex? We just lost in 50%, so 618 on Forex. I'll be looking for an entry right here. $1.12, $1.11. USD, JPY. This is more correlated with crypto. It kind of looks almost the same. It's kind of spooky. But we had the bull break up, nice, but consolidating up here now, not so powerful. Just back testing this upper trend line here for now. Nice move though, if anyone caught that on foreign exchange. Just watch out for the support right at 112. Stuck between 112 and 114. Watch out for that. Pound dollar, GBP USD. You can see now the trend line has been lost very, very clearly. Okay, so now this is what I'm saying. When you lose it, the flag, I mean the attempt will start flagging like that or fading. So Bitcoin is the same problem. You kind of just lost that right now. It's almost the same. We're up. We hit this double top. This is like kind of like an all-time high scenario mentality. We hit that. Oh no, we lost it. We attempted. Oh no, and then bears are in complete control. So now the pattern has changed. So if you see it on the charts, you feel it in the market right now. Stocks are fading down. Foreign exchange is fading down. Crypto is fading down. Now we have to check some commodities and metals. All right, let's take a look at gold. What's going on over here? Gold acting as a little bit of a safe haven. Nice. It was in a descending triangle pattern. We had some low levels of value here a couple times this year. Here. Right? Trend change, safety in gold, right? Like safety asset, safe haven asset, right? Right here. Possible upside down head and shoulders, right? 4%. Hit the target. 2%, I mean, double the target would take us 8% to like 1959, which would be interesting if we hit that. So not every upside down head and shoulders works. Okay, great. Yeah, so Elon, he's really trying to sell. You know, but the respectable thing about it is that he's doing it publicly and transparently. That's what I respect about it, to be honest. Right? Because I know he learned from the Dogecoin. He learned from the Dogecoin fiasco where you can't just like do something and tell people afterwards if you're kind of a whale in the market. So now he's saying with Tesla, see, he learned from it, and before he did it, he just said everything public. Right? That's what I respect about it. If he didn't do that, I'll be like, he might get sued for that, right? But he's doing it publicly and transparently, so there's less chance he's going to get sued by people. Everybody knows. So everyone's pricing that into the market right now. This is great. I'll just take a look at silver. That's what I'm saying. Silver, I called this upside down head and shoulders on the stream, right at support. If you go long here at the breakout, you guys see this? Silver, interesting trade. Just popping up everywhere. 10%. If we go 10%, nice, to $27. If we go 20%, top of the channel, nice, $30, $29. Almost $30. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful trade. Prepare for the volatility. Excuse me. Coughing a lot here. So the trade. All right. What was it? What did I miss? Let's look on the watch list here. Let's take a look at global indexes for a second, just the daily, because this is what I learned from Jerome Powell. He taught me he looks at the entire U.S. market and globe markets on a Saturday. So then I started making a habit. I look on weekends. So we'll just go down here on a daily and just compare. I've been following the Shanghai Composite. This is the second largest stock exchange in the world. It's China. A lot of stuff manufactured in China. Well, let's just see the price action. Kind of consolidating to the side on the index, just sideways. Sort of like Bitcoin. Right. Look at Japan. Yeah, not so strong. It's not uptrend anymore. It's sideways, right? Hang Seng Index is Hong Kong. It's a crashed down into a possible upside down head and shoulders reversal, maybe. This is the Euronext 100. Nice rally. Beautiful. Euro Stocks 50. Nice rally. This is the Shenzhen. This is like the other China index. But see sideways action. Tightening up in a range equilibrium pattern. Explosive move about to happen over time. 10% of the index is a lot. You're either going up 10% or down 10% in this index. UK 100 for our London traders out there. Very interesting. These quick trend lines up. Tightening, we just bounced off this. Very, very correlated with S&P 500. Very, very correlated. Looks almost the same. SENSEX, India. So India, a couple people asked me, traders, to do this, is watch out for this head and shoulders. I drew this a long time ago, these trend lines. So the bull rally has just been kind of get overextended right now in the India market. So you want to watch out for possible head and shoulders reversal pattern. Just because if all assets fall in the world, this thing might come down 3% to the bottom trend line. And that's the bottom side target. Somewhere around here. Somewhere around here. Like a 58,000. Is it like rupees or something? Indian rupees. Nifty as well. Looks a little bit overextended. Toronto Stock Exchange is very similar to the US Stock Exchange, so the same thing applies. Just watch out for the topside resistance pullback. TASI, I believe this is the Saudi Arabia exchange. A little tighter here, but want to watch out for possibly like a weekly pullback. This could be pretty bad on all exchanges. Is weekly is you could pull back a lot. Oh yeah. Okay. So we have one of our members here that thank you for the news if it's real. No, it's good. It's good. If it's real news, maybe you want to share that on the Discord if it's real, if you have a real source from like CNBC or Bloomberg or something like that, or like a government website, because that's pretty big on Tesla. So yeah, if JP Morgan, let me check it myself too. Yeah, this just came out 1 hour ago on CNBC, so it's legitimate. It's everywhere right now. JP Morgan sues Tesla for $162 million because of a tweet. So again, this is what I'm saying with Tesla. Elon Musk, he like tried to do it transparently, but we anticipate like somebody's going to sue him, right? Like you can't, because somebody's going to say he broke the law and send market manipulation, right? So they're trying. So looks like okay. J.P. Morgan was long, obviously, and then the market crashed, so they lost money and they're suing Tesla. So to me, that's bearish news, right? That's not bullish news. So Tesla tomorrow. I mean, let's look at this thing one more time. It's such the hottest stock right now, like volatile. Tesla. Okay, if we get this bearish news lawsuit, that's bearish from one of the biggest banks in the world versus Tesla. But it's for it's for 162 million. It's not for $100 billion, right? So There's the difference there. But still, all right, bearish. I'm going to be looking overnight, like 1 a.m., 4 a.m., 6 a.m. my time for some moves in the European session. I want to see what this thing does in the European session. But you know, certain days it looks like. Let me see what the ATR is. I want to see the average move on our hourly. Let's say on a day. What is this? $53, $30, 15. So maybe $30 move, $30 to $60 move incoming on Tesla. So if it's get some accurate targets, is like $30 would take us down to 980. $50, $60 would take us down to like 950. So you could see if we get downward consolidation, definitely that 950 might come to play. Alrighty. All right, so I went way over today. Hope everybody learned something. If you again, I'm streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch. If you want to give me a follow or cheer donation, always appreciate it. I will probably stream later this week, unless we start crashing again tomorrow, right? So if I don't see you this week, I'll see you next week. All right, everybody. So hopefully we have no FOMO. Try to just really manage the emotions, not get too afraid or too hyped or excited, and just do technical analysis. Hope you learned something. Hope you have a nice night. See you next time. Thank you. Bye.